Hey, what's up guys? My name is Saurav and this is my YouTube channel Data Science Novice. So if you are new to this channel, please do like and subscribe. Your efforts are massively appreciated. So I'm back with another missing value technique. And if you don't know, this is a lecture series on data pre-processing techniques where we are going to learn how to pre-process data for machine learning algorithms. In this series, we are going to understand techniques to treat missing values, variable encoding, outlier detections, etc. etc. Full information of this course can be found in the first video of the playlist. So if you are new here, I would suggest you to watch the first video where I have explained the roadmap for this course. So today we have missing category imputation, and this is by far the easiest and most effective technique. And once you learn this technique, you will see why this is the case, why this technique is so easy to understand and yet effective. So let's talk about this technique. In this technique, we replace the missing values with the keyword missing or any word of your choice you want. Even you can replace it with your name as well, and it won't be problematic for the algorithm. So this is the case when we have a categorical variable. In case of numerical variable, we can provide any numerical value that does not belong to the data, like minus triple nine, triple nine, or any bigger value. So you can see that what is happening here. We are just tagging the missing values. Earlier we were either dropping the missing values or we were trying to take a value from the distribution and replace it. So the idea is we are creating additional label or value to tag the missing values. And by doing it, we are retaining the missing values and let the algorithm know about it. So in nutshell, this technique is telling the algorithm that there is no data present at this point. And to be more simple on this one, just think it like this, that the missing data is data itself now. And now you can see that how easy it is. It does not require any high level statistical knowledge because we are not using any kind of statistics here. Next thing is we don't need to split the data in this technique, and the reason being we are not using any values from the distribution to impute the missing values. Here we are just tagging them, so it's not necessary in this case. But again, in project you have to split the data because there you will be implementing multiple techniques for the imputation, and then you have things like variable encoding, scaling, etc. etc. So it is a good practice to do that split before doing any kind of things with the data. Now let's understand this technique with an example. So here we have the same data set we have been using so far. It has three feature, or we can say it has three variable. Now imagine we have a target variable which tell us whether the person is male or female based on this information. So now we have this imaginary scenario. So as we know that most of the girls are not comfortable in telling their ages. So in most of the age column, we might see some missing values because of that. So again, this is an hypothetical situation. This may or may not be true. So if we were to drop the missing values or impute it with mean median mode, we end up losing this information. But by implementing this technique, we have made sure that this information is incorporated in the data set. And the algorithm might learn this thing as well. So here we have this numerical data. So we are replacing the missing values with triple nine. You can use any value, but make sure it does not belong to any distribution because then the whole purpose of this technique is defeated. Next, let's see for the categorical variable. So here we have again three columns, and color column is categorical, and we can see missing values here. We are just going to replace it with a string missing, and here you can pass your name or anything you want. It will not impact the algorithm performance, so don't focus much on with which you want to replace the missing values. It has nothing to do with the performance or interpretation. You can pass any string you want. Next, we are going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of this technique. So first, let's talk about the advantages. This technique is easy to implement and deploy in the production environment because we are not using any kind of high level statistics. One of the most important aspect of this technique is it's capture the information of missing data. If I talk about all the other techniques, they loses this thing because they are imputing the data, they are not tagging it. If the missing data is quite high, this is the technique that you must use. Like if you have 40% or even 90% missing values, you can actually use this technique. And that's the reason you will be applying it a lot. Now let's talk about the disadvantages. This technique cannot be used when missing values is small in number, because then we are adding a rare label in the data, and the rare labels are problem for the algorithms. So suppose you have height variable, now it has tall, medium, short and some missing values, and the missing value count is less than 5%. And again, the threshold is subjective, different people consider different threshold. So in that case, we may end up introducing a new label that is missing, which might cause the problem for the algorithm. Next thing is, this technique increases the cardinality of the categorical variable. So what is cardinality? It is nothing, just number of unique values taken by the categorical variable. So if we take the previous example, so here we have this color column, and the number of unique values taken by this variable is the cardinality. So as of now, the cardinality is 4, because here we have 4 unique colors. But in this case, if we are going to tag the missing values, the cardinality will increase by 1. Hence the total cardinality is 5. So you can see that it has introduced new label. So that's the issue, although it is just increasing by 1, but still I had to include this thing. But in real world, it won't be that much problem, and you will see why. And we will talk about this cardinality thing in the variable encoding technique, so don't worry about it. So that's all for this technique. Now here I have one thing to talk about. So far we have covered 4 techniques which are very basic. There are many other techniques that I will be covering in future. That's why if you go to the playlist, you will find the data pre-processing playlist and a separate playlist on missing values. And I will keep adding new technique in the missing values playlist. So make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon for the future updates. So I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye, stay safe and wear a mask.